So this is what you'll need for this DIY. So firstly you'll need some clay, and I have some air drying clay in terracotta. Second, you will need some patterns for your clay. So I've got some rings here, I've also got a candle and some letters, but just improvise and you can use many things around the house. So you'll also need some water, then you will need some cords, so I've got some yarn and some cotton twine. So to make these air fresheners scented, then you'll need natural essential oils, but you can use anything you want to. So a cutter to make the discs out of the clay, some scissors and a rolling pin. So in this video I have made quite a few different designs, but this one I'm just going to show you the basic. So first get your clay. Now this is air drying clay, so when I'm done with this I do try to wrap it up really tight so it doesn't dry out. So I've just got my water and I'm taking a small piece off, and then I'm just moulding it with the heat of my hands. Also adding some water if you feel that you need to loosen it up a bit, and that does help with the heat of your hands, so just use the both together until it's soft and pliable. So in my local art shop there were two options of this air drying clay. There was a white and this terracotta colour. So if you didn't want to paint them, just have a look online and see what colours and options you can come across. So now I am just rolling it out with the rolling pin or just a piece of wood that I had, and then I'm just cutting it out. You can also do this by hand with a knife, but it's just easier to get a lid of some sort and then just do that. And I'm also now just adding the water just to make it nice and smooth, and if you make any mistakes or any cracks form, also use water to fix that problem, and then it becomes very moldable as well. So I've just got my ring and I'm just pressing it in. This is the hamster hand. I bought this in Bali and it just gives a really lovely simple design, and that's all it takes, is just to press a pattern into your clay and then just put a hole into the top. This is where the cord will go through. You can put one in the bottom if you wanted to hang some cords, some beads, some feathers. But just to show you this basic car air freshener, I'm just going to make the one hole at the top and just have the cord and make it really simple and very quick to make. So depending on the clay that you have got, read the instructions on the packet, but this is air drying clay, so you can either leave it in the sunshine for a couple of hours or you can leave it overnight. So when that's all dry and ready to go, then just see what you've got around the house to use as a cord. I've got some yarn, some hemp twine and also some cotton twine. So this is the cotton twine and I'm just feeding it through, and that's the very basic simple air freshener done. The other option is to feed both the ends through the hole in the same direction. And then pull the ends through the loop. So that just gives you a couple of options on how you would like to attach the cord. So minus the drying time for the clay, this is a very quick DIY to do. So next add your fragrance, and I've gone for a grapefruit essential oil, and you can place it on the back or on the front, it's really up to you. And when you're done making this DIY, just remember to seal up the clay that you've got, especially if it's an air drying clay. So here I'm just showing you how I made my other natural air fresheners. So I had some letters and I can just write some words on them. Here is my candle, and I've just pressed different sized clay into the candle to get the different effects on the different areas. So just see what you've got around the house and the different things that you can use, and that makes these very personal to yourself or to someone as a gift. So here is one of my air fresheners. I used the candle for the pattern. I then just found a feather on the ground, and on the back I attached it with some Gorilla super glue. And I also made a bead from the clay as well. So here I have the hamster hand, and I made a bead and I just painted it with a white acrylic paint. I had my natural cotton twine and another feather that I found, and I attached that again with some super glue. So my third air freshener, I made a bigger size circle for this one, and this again was with the candle. I then used some twine for the cord, and I found another feather on the ground, and I just painted this with some black acrylic paint and attached it with some super glue. So my fourth one, I wanted to do something slightly different and make a moon. So that is what I did with this. I freehanded it. I then painted it with a white acrylic paint and I made some beads, but I left these natural. I then had this leftover cord that I used for braiding my hair ages ago, so I thought the colour looked quite nice with the white. And then I had another feather and I attached that with more glue. So finally, my last one, I wanted to have some wording on there, so it says free spirit. I had a brown bead, some cotton twine, a feather which I painted with white acrylic paint. So I hope this video was helpful and interesting, and don't forget that these aren't just for the car. You can place these around the house for room air fresheners, and you can also make them into little necklaces that are fragrant, which is really nice as well. So it's totally up to you.